If we were to compare our lives to a simple piece of pottery, we might be an altogether fine, useful, and hopeful piece. But life has a way of changing, sometimes in the blink of an eye. Bad things happen, choices finally catch up with us, tragedy strikes without warning, life in a moment is forever changed. Perhaps we're merely distracted, we fumble, we trip, and in the process losing our balance and grip, things slip away from us, losing control, and life ends up shattered, broken in pieces, scattered without any order, full of confusion and chaos. In those moments we feel so much pain, discouragement. We feel completely lost and without a hope and a future. We cry out in our distress, it's too much trouble, too much work, too much heartache to try and fix it and make it all work together. It'll never be the same. The shame, the grief, the disrepair is too great for us. Jesus would agree, and he says, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy burdened. I will give you rest." God promises that he will heal the brokenhearted and bind up all our wounds, that in the wilderness that he can make a way and he can bring rivers into the desert places. Interestingly, in Japanese culture, there is an art form called kintsugi. It is a fine art where the masters take pleasure and find splendor in the time-intensive work of repair and redemption. Kintsugi means repairing with gold. They take broken vessels and make the pieces more valuable than before, not seeking to hide and make invisible the damage and the scars and the cracks of life, but rather embellishing them and adorning them with gold. Much like our Master Jesus Christ, if we would put our lives into his hand, even our broken pieces, he lovingly works all things together for our good, removing the shame and the brokenness, and fulfilling the promises that he indeed knows the plans and purposes for our lives, that he gives us again a hope and a future, healing all those wounds and binding up all that brokenness as we surrender to God. Corinthians tells us that we have this treasure in jars of clay, so that this surpassing great power is from God, not of us. We are pressed on all sides, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed. And we do not lose heart. Though our outward self may be wasting away, the inner man is being renewed day by day. For light and temporary is our affliction, but it produces in us an eternal glory that far outweighs our temporal and earthly troubles. This is our hope in the Lord Jesus Christ, if we will just give our lives to him.